Thank you, Phyllis, and welcome to Unity of Bloomington. Today is Sunday, July 7th. I'm Luke Salmon, and I'll be your service leader today. Welcome to everyone here in person today, and also those of you that are joining us online. I'd like to invite you now to stand if you're comfortable and sing our welcome song together.
My mind is open to changing the world. Let it begin, let change begin with me. My heart embraces a world wrapped in peace. Let it begin, let peace begin with me. I am an agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love, I am love, I am love, I am love. I am an agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love unfolding. My eyes envision a world aglow in love. Let it begin, let love begin with me. We move together towards all that is just. Let it begin, let justice begin with us. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love, we are love, we are love, we are love. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love unfolding. We are love unfolding.
Thank you, everyone, and you can have a seat if you'd like, if you're more comfortable, but I'd like you to please join me in speaking our vision mission statement together. We are a heart-centered community seeking spiritual awakening and transformation by deepening our connections with God, self, and others. Thank you.
This is one we haven't sung in quite a while, but it really goes with today's message. So be the love you are.
Be the love you are. Be the love you are. Just as Master Jesus taught us, be the love you are. Shine the light you bear. Shine the light you bear. Just as Master Jesus taught us, shine the light you bear. Sing the song you hear. Sing the song you hear. Just as Master Jesus taught us, sing the song you hear. Know the joy of life. Know the joy of life. Just as Master Jesus taught us, know the joy of life. Be the love you are. Be the love you are. Just as Master Jesus taught us, be the love you are.
Thank you, Phyllis and music team. Today, for our mystic moment, I'm going to read a passage. Steady our feet, Lord. Let our doubts quiet and our holy minds be still, and speak to us. We have no words to give you. We would listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing, as does a parent lead a little child along the way they do not understand. Yet do they follow, sure that they are safe because their parents leads the way for them. So do we bring our practicing to you, and if we stumble, you will raise us up. If we forget the way, we count upon your sure remembering. We wander off, but you still will not forget to call us back. Quicken our footsteps now, that we may walk more certainly and quickly unto you, and that we accept the word you offer us to unify our practicing as we review the thoughts you have given us. Now Phyllis will lead us in musical inspiration.
Love is my decision, up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision, no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision, no one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision, no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision, no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here
Thank you, Phyllis. Can y'all feel the love this morning? I love working with Phyllis on musical arrangements, and you just kind of can hand it to her, or you have a talk, and she just runs with it and just weaves a beautiful story together that will link beautifully with the message. Today's message will be delivered by my friend, Reverend Karen Williams. It is my blessing and honor to introduce Reverend Karen again this Sunday. Reverend Karen is delighted to speak once again as a member of Unity of Bloomington. Mm-hmm. She's an ordained minister in the Christian church and actively leading the spiritual program at the Pride Community Center in Spencer, Indiana. Prior to retiring as a manager with the city of Phoenix in Arizona 9 years ago, she was an educator at the Salvation Army Training College in Chicago and a supervisor and director with nonprofits. She enjoys bird watching with her wife, Wendy, and traveling the world. More importantly, she is an avid student of A Course in Miracles and strives to be a light worker in the world. She lives in Ellettsville with Wendy and their 2 cats. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Karen Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I am absolutely delighted to be here. And I'm going to try to actually stay seated. We'll see how long that lasts. But I am absolutely delighted. And I want to thank the spiritual leadership here at Unity for allowing me once again to speak. I am absolutely thrilled. And I also want to thank the search team and the board as well for getting a permanent pastor. I am just thrilled. I've not met Reverend Monashta yet, but I'm looking forward to that. But I do know that one of my desires is to have a spiritual leader in my life. And I'm thrilled that that's going to happen. So, because we finally will know who's going to be speaking in August, it's been a while since I haven't been on the calendar to speak again. So I thought, well, it'll take a little time to be a little more sharing in some personal information. Don't worry, it's nothing great secrets that you're going to walk away with. But as you know, some of you, if you were a month ago here, that I had mentioned that, my mother had passed on May 1st. And since that time, not only did we plan her funeral, we had over 100 people at her services. We cleared her house. Now, she had quite the collection, actually, and my father did as well. And so it was quite the adventure just clearing her house, and the siblings had an estate sale. Well, then we decided, as we were waiting for a beneficiary deed to come back so that we could sell the property, to go ahead and rehab the house. So after that talk last June, I actually went back into South Beloit, Illinois, and I slept on Wendy's massage table. Fortunately, she gave me a yoga mat on top of it in the living room, and literally spent the entire time until last week when I returned home at the point where we put the house on the market. And I can say, without a doubt, I have great appreciation. I'm looking at you, Handy Randy. I'm looking at you, Roy, because I know you chop wood, that I never thought ever about exactly what that kind of work every day, using your hand, removing tiles, painting continuously, staining, and just general cleaning. Every part of my body ached. And sometimes when I got up in the morning, it was like, oh yeah, okay. But let's get it on. Let's get this done. I'm happy to say that as Friday, we are under contract with my mother's home, $25,000 over asking price. We should close a cash deal in 2 weeks. So I'm very thrilled about all of that. But what I recognize, and this is really the point of this, telling you this, is that it was my older brother who would show up a couple times a week, sometimes 3, to help, and kind of directed us in the rehab, since his business has been rehabbing homes. But he's done. He's tired of it. He wants to get out of the business. And then my older sister, it's a year older than I, who cared for my mom, but man, she is a worker. And it was us, three of us, rehabbing my mother's home. And what I realized, having been around my siblings, not having lived there since I left after graduating from high school, I never looked back. I've never lived back in the Beloit, Wisconsin, or South Beloit or Rockford area again. And what I recognized was that how different, even though having similar childhood, having similar backgrounds religiously, but how different their reality is. Listening to some of the stories, and I'm looking at the two sisters here, and this may be the case as well. It's like, how can you live in the same family and have such a different sense of realities? Because they would be telling stories that it's like, really? I had no idea that's the way that they thought or the way that experiences happened. And then I recognize it's really because everybody's on their own kind of reality of their own life. It reminds me of the parable, and many of you may have heard it. It's an ancient Indian parable of the blind men and the elephant. So there's a group of blind men, and this elephant visits their town. They've never been around an elephant before, but they want to explore, and from their own abilities, this elephant. And so one of them touches the trunk of the elephant and says, oh, an elephant is like a hard, like snake. Another one touches the ear and says, oh, an elephant is like a fan. Then another one touches the leg and says, oh, the pillar, it's like a tree trunk. And then another touches the side of the elephant and says, oh, an elephant is like a wall. And of course, one touches the tail and says it's like a rope. And one touches the very hard tusk and says, oh, it's like a hard spear. And the point of the parable is that each of them, from their own limited subjective viewpoints, believe that's reality. And they're willing to even argue over what the elephant is most similar to. No, it's not a rope. No, it's a snake. No, it's not a wall, it's a fan. And they would have those kinds of discussions because they believed from their own perspective that was the absolute truth. Well, if you think about this world that we live in, it's as if we have one large, huge TV. We're all from the same source, but there's 8 billion different channels for all the people in the world. Everyone is on their own channel. Everyone is living their own realities. You might be similar in some way to those that are next to you. However, you're on your own divine plan, connected to Source, on your own channel, believing what you're seeing. And through our own limited subjective viewpoints or perceptions, we actually think that's the absolute truth. It's so interesting to me that there are people who live in this world who can experience different historical events and know various different historical facts, and yet can misremember them. Have any of you heard of the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect is very interesting. The Mandela effect says that it's named after Nelson Mandela. And researchers actually have discovered that there are people who, countless people, not just a few, countless people who believe Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s. Now, Wendy and I have been to Johannesburg in South Africa. We've visited actually twice, 2 different times, Nelson Mandela's home and a lovely museum there. Well, I'm under the impression and believe that Nelson Mandela got out of prison and became the president of South Africa and died in 2013. But the researchers realized that so many people actually believe he died in the prison. They actually call this effect the Mandela effect. And if you Google it, it can be kind of fun. And it says that it's kind of an eerie phenomenon where people misremember historical information or even pop culture. For example, they will say, when you grew up, was it Jiffy peanut butter or was it Jif? It was Jif. It was Jif. When you had a cereal, was it Fruit Loops, as F-R-U-I-T, or was it Fruit, F-R-O-O-T, Loops? It's actually F-R-O-O-T. It's Fruit Loops. The one that's kind of the kicker that when they talk about the Mandela effect is, and most of us will remember, except for a few of them that are a little younger here to my right side, but other than that, and a few others, that on this side as well, Johnny Carson's sidekick was Ed McMahon. Did he give out big checks for Publishers Clearinghouse? Publisher Clearinghouse says Ed McMahon never worked for them. He never worked for them. In fact, he was part of an American research group that did give out checks, but not Publishers Clearinghouse. That's the Mandela effect. So it's interesting to me that you can actually be next to someone and they are actually remembering very different realities. And it's not surprising to me that as we move into this year, elections, sometimes I've shook my head and said, do I live in a different reality? Am I seeing something that am I not seeing something that others are seeing? And we're in such a time of polarity and duality, really. But my point in this is that we are our own TV channel connected to Source. But as we're going down our divine path, we may find that in fact, we're also another illustration of that is like we're one large puzzle, and each of us are the individual piece in that puzzle. And what we're doing in this world is everybody's finding their place where they fit in that puzzle because that's our divine plan. We sometimes try to fit ourselves in a different place, but we don't belong. But when we find our place, we fit. And usually it's with those around us who are also kind of in that same area, right? Similarities of the puzzle. And not so much a hard edge maybe on the other end of the puzzle, but they're all a part of the puzzle. So that's another way of looking at it. Or think of it as I'm on my channel, I'm connected to Source, others are on their channel, but I'm carrying a radio, and I'll close with this, is that I'm carrying a radio, and on that radio, I can tune it, though, to different frequencies. So even though I'm on my channel, I can tune this radio to a certain station or a certain frequency. And one of those frequencies, and often is the default one, and maybe it plays a little bit of music. And the music I'm thinking about because of our friend here that's on the floor, maybe it's playing, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. Well, that's the way I felt at my mom's house. When I finally fell into that very hard massage table, even with the soft yoga mat, it was like, oh, it's been a hard day. My hands hurt, my neck hurts, my back hurts. And then I would look, though, out the picture window that my mom had, and we had a beautiful floral bouquet that was there with a hummingbird feeder. And I had one little hummingbird that would come every day and just enjoy that sweet nectar in the hummingbird feeder. Then I found I could change my channel. You see, I could change my radio. And at that point, I was probably Ray Stevens. Everything is beautiful in its own way. See, I was just looking. I was looking and I was seeing the beauty, and all of a sudden it's like I found myself in such an appreciative mode of thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for providing this place where there was great love growing up. Thank you for the shelter, the protection, the giving us values so that the siblings could come together and agree. And through great love, we're willing to say, you want that, you take that. If you want that more, you take that. No one arguing, I want more. And I'm so grateful and appreciative. But there's actually another higher frequency than even that. And that's the frequency where there's really no song. There's only the mantra of Om, Om. They say that that's the highest frequency. So you see, on all of those different channels, the three that maybe you have generally a choice of, with lots of variation in between. But all of them have the consciousness of love's existence. Because our consciousness from that one source is really only love. But if you choose to do more of the ego, kind of edging God out frequency, thinking about how hard it is to work, or how much efforting it is, or how attached I can become, and what are my possessions, and how can I compare to other people. This is a frequency that puts us in a place where love is more of, I love you, yes, but what can I get? As long as you stay kind of in a contract, you keep agreeing to and giving me what I want, then I'll keep loving you. The Course in Miracles calls that special relationships. But that if you can change that tune or change that channel, and you get that heart kind of chakra frequency that says, it's beautiful to be with you. I will have you and hold you forever. Anyone that's been married, that's the frequency that you're going into it and believing. And it's, I'll support you. I'll be there for you. I will love you. Whatever your path is, whatever your divine plan is, I will go with you together in this world. But you see, there's even a higher frequency. Remember? And that's the frequency that says, there is no one to love. Why? Because there's no one else. I am only pure consciousness. I am only the consciousness of love's existence. It is the frequency that says consciousness that as we are, as God has created us to be, is pure, just love. So I'm on this journey to only be the love that I am, as God has created me. And that's what we're actually going to talk about at the Course in Miracles workshop today, is I am as God created me. If we really understand that, it's I am only pure consciousness. My entire awareness and all the unconditional love I am is my existence. And so there is no one else, in the sense that I am only love. I can only be love in a consciousness in this world. And what a place to grow. What a place to be able to tune to that. It is as if, for me, you are going into the temple, but you take your shoes off. Have you been to temples where you take your shoes off before you can go in them? Why? You take your shoes off because the shoes represent where you've walked in the past, or where you're going to walk in the future. And it's saying, take your shoes off. Leave that part. Leave that. And instead, just go in just purely as your existence and connect with God. So many of us, and there's nothing wrong with it, we go in and we say, God, I need you to do this, 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 and this. And he understands that. We go in with love with desires. But wow, what an opportunity for us to go in without desires and just pure love and say, I love you. I love you, God, because of my very existence. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One, centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One, centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One, centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One.
This meditation contains excerpts from the Course in Miracles workbook lesson number 188. The peace of God is shining in me now. So let's begin our meditation by getting comfortable. Allow your chair to completely support your body. Relax, stretch, release any tension. And for the meditation today, we're going to connect with an aspect of God, and that aspect is love. So let's breathe in love. Let's breathe it in through our crown and into our heart or heart center. And on the exhale, breathe it out to all our body. So breathe in love. Breathe it out into our body. Breathe in love. Breathe it out to all your body. Feel the peace, the safety, the healing that love brings. Breathe love into every area of your body, every organ, every gland, every system, every sinew, every muscle. Every molecule, every atom, breathe love into all. Let love thoroughly permeate your body. Feel that love help you release whatever is not loving. Feel your body become lighter. Feel your consciousness become lighter. Breathe in that love. The peace of God is shining in me now. Why wait for heaven? Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change. Light is not of the world, yet you who bear the light in you are here. The light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your own. It is the only thing you bring with you from your source. It shines in you because it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from. This light cannot be lost. Why wait to find it in the future or believe it has been lost already or was never there? All vision starts within. The peace of God is shining in you now, and from your heart extends around the world. It pauses to caress every living thing and leaves a blessing with it that remains forever and forever. What it gives is eternal. It brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. All of its gifts are given everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give and you who have received. The peace of God can never be contained. Who recognizes it within must give it. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. The light within you is sufficient. It alone has the power to give the gift of sight to you. Exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. For honest thoughts, untainted by the world, outside of you become the holy messengers of God itself. We practice coming nearer to the light in us today. We take our wandering thoughts and gently bring them back to where they fall in line with all the thoughts we share with God. We will not let them stray. We let the light within our minds direct them to come home. And thus our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us and from us to all living things. We will forgive them all, absolving all the world from what we thought it did to us. For it is we who make the world we would have it. Now we choose that it be innocent, and we lay our saving blessing on the world as we say, "The peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. The peace of God is shining in me now. The peace of God is shining in me now. The peace of God is shining in me now." And as we move into the silence, let's take a few breaths to really soak in the peace of God. And now let's anchor in this peace of God. Let's breathe it into every part of our bodies. Let's stretch it in and integrate it into our bodies. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and remember that you can connect to the peace of God anytime you want to. The peace of God. Thank you. Namaste.
And the love of God. I am the love of God. The love that makes the universe. The love that sustains our soul.
everybody back now. That was beautiful. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Wendy and Karen. Feels so great to be here and arrive and sitting in that love and that peace of God. We now turn our attention to gratitude. We want to show our gratitude for what we continue to receive. There's several ways to contribute to Unity of Bloomington. Checks or cash are always welcome, or you can use the text to give button on the screen or the donate button on the website. As the offering bags are passed, you may want to bless the bags and their contents. If you're new to us, please fill out one of the blue visitor forms, and the pocket of the chair will be behind you. And prayer request forms are also available in that same pocket. Please fill those out, and if you need some extra prayers, you can pass those on to Silent Unity. Both these forms may be dropped in the offering bag as it's passed. I now invite the congregation to join me in speaking our abundance affirmation. Together, I am an abundant being in an abundant universe. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us, let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
I'll invite the greeters forward here. You're fine there. Please join me together in speaking our offering blessing, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. Couple announcements today. Today after the service, Reverend Karen and Wendy will be facilitating a workshop and a Course in Miracles. Little point of order here, we also we need 2 greeters to fill each of the next 3 Sundays. July 14th, 21st, and 28th. If you can help on any of these Sundays, please see Jonna Capio to sign up. And Jonna Mabry was just talking about this morning about how she wanted to be a greeter, so there's one for you. So anyone else, please feel free to speak with Jonna and sign up for greeters and show up for our community however you can. Upcoming speakers, July 14th. I think the only member of the board yet to speak, we got Carol Peacock on the list finally. I'm excited to see Carol and hear her message, 70 times 7. On July 21st, we've got a lovely member of our choir here, Dave DeKid, will be presenting as a topic called No Wrong Moves. And then on July 28th, we've got Reverend Richard Breeden?
Breeden. No, it's Brendan.
Brendan.
It's not Bill Breeden. Yep.
It's Richard Brendan.
Brendan.
Yeah. And then August 4th, Manasseh will be here. So, with that being said, we have a lot to look forward to in this coming month as we prepare for Manasseh's arrival. Please check the newsletter and reach out and help however you can as we prepare for her arrival here. Will you please stand and join me in speaking the prayer for protection? Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's join hands. We're already in a circle for the peace song.